Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is part 2 of helping a friend. And I just did a video on this. I'm going to actually call this part 2, even though this was making this hairline better. And if you're the person I'm doing this for, I'm not going to mention your name because I don't want to embarrass you. Um, well, I'm not going to say I'm not going to embarrass you. I don't think you can be embarrassed. I can just see the difference in my two lines. He does say this line cuts better now, but there is something going on with this line. One is not black. It's like a red or a brown. So I would use my new, we just talked about this on the last video. But he's saying also the graphics and the words are cutting out after it engraves. Well, we're set on inches. Everything's set on inches. But if you go here, it's set on 0.1 millimeters. So the way to fix that would be to still nudge this out of the way. I'm going to left click no fill, and then I'm going to take my smart fill tool and I'm going to fill this in. And see how it's taking a little time? There's something with these lines. And I should have put a rectangle around, but it didn't do it. And then I can nudge my color fill right back. Now this has no outline. This will just engrave. So we need to delete this one. Same thing on the squiggle. There's a hairline that's in there that's black. Let's right click no outline, and the fill color is weird, but this should engrave too, because now there's no outline. I would actually click on it and make it. I'm going to left click this and see that's what it is, filling in something. So let's go to view. I very seldom ever use it. Look at wireframe, and there's a lot going on in this graphic. So you could do several things, and I might even do this just to see, and see it's that weird color. It's not a black. So whenever you got this from that DXF person, or wherever you got it, let's fill this in. And that is kind of the problem right there, because it's taken way too long to fill in, and it's got some broken lines. And you can see it kind of messed up with my box. So I'm not 100% sure how to fix that, except, well, I'll tell you what, it probably did work. I was under wireframe and I needed to go enhanced. So let's go back to wireframe. Tell you what, let's back up a step to make sure we didn't do anything. There, we're back to the start. Now let's go to view and go to wireframe. I normally seldom ever use this, but let's get the smart fill tool and fill this in. There and there. Everything should be connected and it should fill up. Then let's go back to view and enhanced, and you get this lot sharper image. And you shouldn't have, now to play it safe, let's nudge it out of the way. Nudge that out of the way. Take our old graphic and let's try just deleting it and putting this back and that back. And this has no outline, so that should engrave pretty well. Now it is a little bit thinner than your original one, but that could be corrected. Same thing on your fonts. Let's check on his fonts. They are all grouped together, but there's a 0.1 millimeter, and we're in inches, and that 0.1 millimeter might be thinner than a hairline in inches. So all you have to do is right click no outline. It made it a little bit thinner, but you have no outline now. And I'm not 100% sure about this top one. So, and because it looks good, so just a word of warning. Let's move all this stuff out of the way. He sent me some notes. This is the way I would do this one if you were going to cut this out. Let's move our newest one out of the way. If I was to cut this one out and I knew that this was a hairline, let's change it to red. And it's still not good, because I don't know if you can see that on your monitor, but this line from far away doesn't look as good as my new line. So this is what I do. If I was going to engrave this, and your bed is a weird size, and just a little lesson here, if you'll bring that in right there, and you don't have snap to on either, so go to view and snap to pages on it. It should snap to that. It did. So now you got 0, 0 here, if this was the top of your laser. And I know your laser is a lot bigger than that, but let's say you're going to run this job on this page. This is how I would run the job. I would take my hairline and just move it out of the way. I would not do a combination job. I would raster or engrave all this. Let it do its deal. Even if there was some hairlines in it, because we did not fix the top one. So if you like that little bit thicker look, this will engrave and it will not cut because you're not letting it cut. Then just select all your items and double click them out of the way, and then single click this back and this vector line, and then just run a vector job and let it cut that out. That's the safest way to do something like that until you've tested this, because I know this one is, these are correct, this one's not, because this is still some sort of hairline. You can see it right there, it's a black, see, that's not even a RGB color. Now you are set on RGB, so let's just right click it and turn it into a black. But that's still a hairline, so let's left click, right click. Now you still see there's a problem with this artwork. So what I did on the bottom would be the best, or just leave it the way it was, and it should engrave as long as you don't do a combination job. I hope that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.